On August 6, 2026, Kyle Vincent Green was booked into the Madison County Jail in Edwardsville, Illinois. The charges: grooming and solicitation to meet a child. If that name sounds familiar, it shouldn't. You've never heard of him, and that's exactly the problem, because Kyle Green shouldn't have been anywhere near a child in 2026. He'd already been caught twice before. Caught driving to meet who he thought were underage girls. Caught by federal agents. Caught on camera by vigilantes. And the system let him walk away with 6 years. December 2018. Green, a 36-year-old X-ray technician from O'Fallon, Illinois, started chatting online with someone he believed was the mother of a 14-year-old girl. He wasn't subtle. He made his intentions clear. He wanted to meet the child for sex. He showed up at a motel in Brentwood, Missouri, an affluent St. Louis County suburb, home to the county courthouse and justice center. He walked in expecting a child. Instead, he met federal agents and St. Louis County police, arrested on the spot. A textbook predator sting in a neighborhood where you'd never expect it. But here's where it gets worse. While his federal case was still pending, Green went back online. June 2019. This time, he was messaging who he thought were two 14-year-olds. He told the decoy he wanted, quote, cuddles, snuggles, and Netflix. He drove to a Caseyville, Illinois McDonald's, expecting to meet them. Instead, he was met by KTS predator hunters streaming live on Facebook. Green was caught on camera, identified, and exposed. His second arrest in 6 months. When a federal grand jury indicted Green in July 2019, the lead charge was serious. 18 U.S.C. 2422, subsection B, attempted enticement of a minor. That statute carries a mandatory minimum sentence, not less than 10 years. Congress wrote those words. 10 years minimum. No judicial discretion. But somewhere between the indictment and the plea, the deal got cut. The 10-year mandatory minimum was dropped. In its place, 2 lesser charges. Attempted receipt of child pornography with a 5-year minimum, and traveling with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. Neither one carries the 10-year hammer. The break wasn't at sentencing. It was at charging. The 10-year charge was dropped, replaced with a 5-year charge. And that's where Kyle Green's story stops being about one man and starts being about a system. The numbers tell the story. Total offense level, 25. Federal sentencing guidelines recommended 70 to 87 months. The government asked for 84 months plus lifetime supervised release. Enter Justin Gelfand, Green's defense attorney. A name you should remember. Gelfand isn't just any lawyer. He's a former trial attorney for the United States Department of Justice, the same DOJ that was prosecuting Kyle Green. He knew the playbook because he helped write it. Gelfand served as faculty at the National Advocacy Center, the Department of Justice Training Academy for federal prosecutors. He literally taught the people who prosecute cases like his clients. The ultimate insider playing both sides. The sentencing took place on December 4, 2020, before Chief Judge Stephen Clark of the Eastern District of Missouri, the same courthouse where Gelfand once worked as a federal prosecutor. The government pushed hard. They wanted 84 months. They wanted lifetime supervised release. The prosecutor, AUSA Colleen Lang, didn't mince words. She called Green, quote, a clear and present danger. But the guidelines range had already been cut in half by the plea deal. The real floor, the 10 years Congress demanded, was gone. 71 months, the top of the guidelines range. But the range was built on the reduced charge. The real floor was 120 months, 10 years. That's what Congress wrote into law. That's what was supposed to happen. Gelfand made sure it didn't. Sound familiar? It should. In 2008, Jeffrey Epstein received a federal non-prosecution agreement from Alexander Acosta, the U.S. Attorney in Miami. Acosta gave Epstein immunity from all federal charges in exchange for nothing. The parallels are impossible to ignore. A well-connected defendant, a powerful advocate, and mandatory minimums that simply vanished. Epstein had Acosta. Green had Gelfand. Different names, same playbook. Mandatory minimums are only mandatory for people who can't afford the right lawyer. And here's where the story comes back to August 2026. Kyle Green was arrested again. The same man the system chose to let walk early. Children are innocent. They deserve protection. And when the system lets a predator walk early, when a 10-year mandatory becomes 6, it's not just a number, it's a failure that ripples outward. Every time someone like Green reoffends, it proves the system chose wrong. 3 times caught. How many weren't? Each time he drove to meet a child he believed a real child was waiting. Each time, the only thing standing between him and a victim was a stroke of luck. An undercover agent, a vigilante group, how long before luck runs out? But here's what we do not talk about enough. The damage does not end when the arrest happens. Children who are preyed upon carry it for life. Depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, substance abuse, suicide risk, the ability to trust, to form healthy relationships, to feel safe. Gone. Some never get it back. When stories like this surface, people talk about wood chippers and firing squads. They're not entirely wrong to be angry. There are countries where what Green did would cost him his life. China, Iran, Saudi Arabia. South Carolina reinstituted the firing squad in 2021. The outrage isn't about vengeance. It's about a system that doesn't protect children as fiercely as it should. Kyle Green could afford the right lawyer. And now he has been arrested 3 times. If you think the justice system should work the same for everyone regardless of who they can hire, hit subscribe. Share this story, because the next Kyle Green is already out there, and the system is not waiting to protect his next victim. If you think predators like this belong behind bars for the full 10 years, you are in the right place. Look for our group on Facebook and help build the community. Subscribe for more stories. The system does not want you to connect.